Hello, beautiful fam. Welcome to the Circle of Alchemy Sisters. Kristi Lynn here, Psychic Medium Channel, and my co-host, the wonderful Dedra. We are here today. We have no plans.
No.
Again, unprepared. Well, when we have our morning meetings, we usually get inspired. We usually come together and we usually come to like, oh, yeah, I've been thinking about this too. So we bring it. And today, neither one of us could really come to any sort of like, what should we talk about? Connecting even. We still didn't really get anything except for life experience. Like, I think that today is going to be like girlfriends chatting. You're welcome to the club. We're all going to talk about sort of the life experiences that we're going through at this time and how we've learned to make decisions based on our healing and our awareness, you know, the things that we channel about all the time, and how it improves our lives and how it makes our lives better, and how proud actually we can be of ourselves for not behaving in the same way that we used to behave, right? Because it caused chaos in our lives.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So, I don't like sharing too many personal things on here, but I'm gonna step into that, and I'm just gonna talk about the different relationships I have in my life and the awakenings that are going on in those relationships between me and my higher self, and really doing what is best for me instead of doing what I have been repeating on a cycle for my entire life and probably past lives as well. It's about breaking cycles. What do you think you've gone through that you're very like sort of proud of yourself that I could have reacted in this one way, but I didn't in the past week, just in the past week?
Well, I can tell you that, so we're getting ready for an event next Saturday.
Yes.
And so I'm going, and I had a business. I own my own crystal shop for quite a few months. And so I have leftover inventory. And I'm like, what a great place to, take my leftover inventory and you know, share it. And so I'm going through storage and I'm trying to find boxes, and it's like my memory just left me. And before I would like panic, I would lose my shit, and I would start yelling at people. Well, I would yell at my husband, or just be really upset and start blaming and just acting out of character for myself. And this time I'm just like sad, and I'm like, okay, why can I not remember? It's like memory left, and I'm like, I'm very connected with my crystals, very connected. It's my passion. And to not be able to find a box of like my beautiful bracelets, I was very upset, and my husband was starting to panic, and I'm like, I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at you. I'm like, I'm just sad right now. I'm sad because I can't remember. And it means a lot to me, but I was pretty calm through it, and I'm like, okay, breathe, and take in. Let's go back to the last place you've seen it, which was your birthday. I was trying to find a gift for your birthday, and that's the last time. I should have
worn my necklace. My nails are too long. I can't get it on.
Yeah. Yes. So I now remember handing that box, because I had a box of bracelets, and I'm like, no, she has so many bracelets. I've given her so many bracelets.
So many bracelets.
She needs something different. And I'm like, bring my necklaces in. And I handed him the box. And from there, I had no idea where this box went.
So let's think of it as the universe sort of trying to teach you a beautiful lesson of learning how to manage that anxiety differently than you had before. And then once you get the lesson and you understand it, that box is just going to show up.
It did. There was another box that was replaced, and I knew it was not the box because this box was completely organized. And
you hadn't been like,
no, I hadn't been all through this box. The box I handed to my husband was in a disarray. It was just leftover bracelets that were just piled into a box. They were not organized by by stone type. So but I know they will show back up. I was very proud of myself because I didn't fly off the handle. I didn't start yelling, like cussing. I was calm. I wanted to cry, but it was just to release the anxiety because I had a lot of anxiety. When something means a lot to you and you cannot remember what you did with it,
That anxiety is easy to take over.
yes. So I was pretty calm. I'm grateful and thankful to have all the other inventory. So I have more than enough to go to this event. And that other box will show back up. It couldn't have went like too many different places. Yeah.
It exists in
Somewhere.
other reality somewhere. You'll find that timeline again.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's the one thing that I've been through recently that that I can remember that took a lot of patience and breathing to work through.
Yes. And this week has been, it's the full moon was relationships. Ugh, relationships. So, it was like every masculine energy relationship that I had going on in my life was really giving me problems. So this week I really had to dig deep and like not react in ways that I have reacted in the past. Okay, I will be the first one to admit that when I'm teaching these lessons of anger is a secondary emotion. Anger is a secondary emotion. If you're feeling anger, you're sad, or that's for me, okay? Because I am one who has been known to, my anxiety takes over and it's like I just react and I say things that they're probably true. I'm not lying. I'm not making things up, but they don't need to be said.
Right.
Right? And people, I have been accused of being mean. I'm mean when I'm angry. And even though I feel like I'm telling the truth, it's still coming from a place of anger instead of a place of love. So even though I could have said the same thing in a different way, that's what I'm learning, right? Do not say things from a place of anger. Let that anger process through. Again, it was called to my attention this weekend. Like, I'm in a situation right now where I'm pissed. I'm pissed. I've just been hurt. I've just been disappointed. I have just been let down by someone very close to me that I love very much, right? I'm angry. And I'm telling myself, you're angry. It means you're sad. It means you're disappointed. You may be angry, but really, you're sad and you're disappointed. Now let's take a look and let's dissect everything that's going on. And in the end, what it boils down to is that sometimes in life, we have to do things that are best for everyone in the situation, but they don't feel good. Not everything that's right feels good, right? And that is a big lesson that I'm learning right now. And also speaking to people in a way like this person, coming to this person that I love very much and saying, we need to have an honest conversation.
Right.
We need to have a very honest conversation. And that person, because of the way that I have behaved before in this relationship, listen, we're always the worst behaved with the people we trust and we love the most. Okay, my partner, my ex-partner, I have been my worst in front of him. Absolutely my worst, and vice versa. We have been our worst with each other. But I have a goal. I don't want to get emotional. Damn it.
It's okay.
I have a goal to really be the best version of myself that I possibly can. So I have a goal to evolve in every single lesson that I obviously, I can clearly see that what I'm going through is a lesson and it's a tower moment, and I can choose my old ways or I can choose a new way. So a conversation that maybe would have been, he was dreading dreading having this conversation, because of the way Kristi has handled herself in the past, being emotional, being angry. But because I, the new Kristi, the evolved Kristi, am working so hard on myself, I came from a loving place instead of an angry place. I love you. And I'm never going to stop loving you. ever, ever, ever. But we are not on the same frequency right now. We are not focused on the same things right now. And I'm going. I'm just keep going. I'm just going to keep going and evolving and working on myself. And that's okay. If you're not ready and you're not at this place where you want to keep going and keep evolving and you still have these things that you have to learn, that's okay. It doesn't mean I don't love you. It means your energy and my energy need to be separated a little bit, right? Mm-hmm. And it's also teaching me being independent. Learning, not being codependent, right? Like we get very comfortable with people in our lives, even though we may not be in a romantic relationship with these people. Cutting the energy off from them feels like the wind has been knocked out of your lungs.
Absolutely.
Right? Because it's an addiction. I am dependent on this person. They were my home at some point, and it's really hard to disconnect yourself from that home, you know? Remaining friends after a relationship ends is really a big accomplishment, right?
It is.
It takes a lot of work, constant work, right? And I have to say that sometimes you can suffer at the hand of that if both people are not in the same sort of frequency to be able to deal with that. So because I do not want to get to a place with this person whom I love deeply, of hatred and of anger and of animosity, I have to be the one to say this cycle that we're in is not serving us at all. Even though we're friends, it's still not serving us. This friendship is not serving us. It's not what's best for either one of us. So I'm going to remove myself. I'm going to do what's best for everyone in the situation. This is a cycle. And if somebody doesn't get off the ride, one of us is going to get hurt. One of us is going to throw up. Like we got to get off the ride. We got to get off the ride because it's just spinning us around in circles over and over, and it's not best for either of us. So making the decision that's best for everyone in the situation doesn't feel good.
Yeah. No.
It doesn't feel good.
But how lovely and how beautiful it is to go from a place where you were never self-aware and you would just act out of emotion to going to a place where you're self-aware in the moment and realizing everything you're feeling and being able to work through that so you don't act in a way that's going to make it worse. I mean, that is growth in its finest.
Yeah. So my lesson this whole week has been practice what you preach. Mm-hmm. If I were to come to myself for a reading, what would I tell me? I know exactly what I would tell me, but I'm not doing any of those things. That's not how I'm living my life. I'm not living my life according to the divine information that I channel to other people. I'm letting bad habits, old traits, and cycles repeat in my life and just like allowing it to happen over and over and over again, right? Because I love these people. I love them. Unconditional love. I know I love you no matter what. I love you no matter what. Guess what? I love me more. Mm-hmm. That's the lesson. I love me more. You know, like being in this cycle is hurting me.
Yeah.
And stopping both of us from growing into the humans that we need to be. So I have to exit this cycle, and it doesn't mean I don't love you, and it doesn't mean I never want to see you again. I never want to talk to you again. You know, like let's schedule once a week meetings, right? Yeah. Like let's get in touch once a week and let's share everything that we want to share, right? Whereas before it was always involved in everything, right? Because we were partners. So everything was partnered together. But now I'm saying I don't want to be partners. We can't partner at this moment in time because we're on different frequencies and we're on different vibrations. So now what we're going to do is transfer into what is friendship, right? Friendship. So I'm not going to be completely engulfed in your life anymore. You're just now going to share what you want to share to me, right? And then I can't question you, and I can't be upset with you, and I can't be disappointed in you unless you actually tell me those things.
Absolutely, because the only thing that's doing is lowering your vibration and keeping you at a lower frequency when you're engulfing all your energy and all your your emotions into a person that isn't at this vibrating up there with you. So you're only doing yourself a disservice.
Yes, absolutely. And I go around and I teach. It's well known that I call myself a queen, that I call myself a goddess. I am those things. And it's like, I only want to partner with someone who is also feeling and exhibiting those same traits. I am a queen. I am a king. If you don't vibrate at that frequency, you and I are not going to have the highest timeline of relationships.
No, you're absolutely correct. And but let's look at the bigger picture here. That is what you're showing people is that you can't be perfect all the time. And it's okay because this is a learning. Like this is
learning. We're here on Earth School.
Yeah,
this is learning.
So even the teacher is being taught.
Yes, absolutely. The teacher is being taught, okay? And sometimes the teacher doesn't know what the fuck she's doing. Like, and I know that I come on here and when I'm channeling, I'm strong and I'm powerful, but that's the energy coming through me. That's not me, right? So I have to be honest, and I had to say yesterday morning at 3:00 in the morning, I was wide awake, crying in my bed, yelling at my team saying, show me. I know you're here to support me. I know you're here to guide me. I know you love me. You say these things all the time, but guess what? I'm going to need you to show up. You say, all I have to do is ask. All I need to do is ask for your help and I will have it. So that's what I was doing at 3:00 in the morning, crying my eyes out, begging for my team to show me the money, right? Not the money, but actually show me what I need to do. I'm so lost. I can't figure out what I have to do, right? I woke up and I turned on YouTube for some inspiration. You had posted our video literally 1 minute. It said 1 minute ago, posted 1 minute ago, our last podcast. And I watched it. And what was it all about? Standing in your power, learning your power, like all about your power and doing what's best for you and just being the queen of your own life, being the director of your own life. And I literally cried because I was like, thank you. Thank you. I needed that. You posted that video at that exact moment that I turned on that television. Our lessons are so vital, right? They really do mean something. They really do teach us something. And if we ourselves are not taking those lessons seriously and not practicing what we preach, then what's the point of what we do? What kind of guides are you?
There would be no point, which is why I learn a lot through you. And these last few months, I've been reevaluating. We've kind of went through like my dark night of the soul. Like we've been going since we started our podcast. I would say since we started it, my life has completely transformed. Yeah. Everything that we are taught, I try my best to put and incorporate that in my life and to really do the work, which means reevaluating my relationships, reevaluating my power, what I stand for, my beliefs, and what I deserve in my life. I am a fucking queen. I am a goddess. I have embraced that about myself, and it went to our heads there for a little bit. When you're getting in touch with that power, it has to balance out within you. And
great power comes great responsibility, and that is true.
Yes. So I've gotten rid of things that do not serve me in my life, whether it's with my children. Like my daughter and I have went through major transitions in our relationship. We've gotten like I don't have a whole lot of friends. My friends list has gotten smaller. I outgrow certain vibrations, certain energies that people exhibit. Where I once was like really talking to my ex-husband a lot because he is a good friend of mine. I hardly ever talk to him now. It's like he's vibrating out of my life. And I used to say that I will love him until the day I die.
And you will.
Well, yes. But like we'd always be friends. Like if he called me up and he needed somebody, he'd be there. But I'm starting to feel differently now about that. You know, like that's changing in my life and I can see that changing.
The veil.
Yes. And it's like there's certain ways that he's living that I'm like, I just don't want no part of that. I'm not into that anymore. Friends that we had together, they're out of my life, you know, just everything. My husband now, he was out of my life for a little bit.
I was going to say, you completely took your life that you thought that you were happy in. And after doing some dissecting, realized that it wasn't for the best of both of you. So you completely dissected your life, took it all apart.
Yes. Oh, oops.
Built it back together again.
Yeah. Bigger and better.
Yeah.
And now it's like all that didn't even happen. It's just like a cloud. It's just like a cloud. Just a fuzziness. It's like a dark cloud. I hardly remember even going through it. If I was to go back and watch the videos, I would probably cry because it's
totally different person.
Totally. He is a different person. I am
a totally different person.
I'm super proud of myself.
Yeah, you rocked that shit. You took every piece of channeling information that we received, even the scary ones, and you put them into play. And every time you said, so I did blah, 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 I was like,
I know.
You did? And you're like, well, you channeled. And I was like, oh, God, I did. You know, like I was scared, but you did it. And you had faith. You had faith in everything that was it was gonna all work out. And yeah.
I mean, I'm going to tell you that the hardest decisions you ever have to make is to hurt somebody you love. But to love yourself more and to stand up for what you deserve. Man, it's hard, Kristi. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. I mean, I tore my insides apart.
Yes.
I put myself through so much pain, and I can see you doing that with yourself now. Like doing sometimes the right thing to do is the hardest thing to do.
Absolutely.
But loving yourself and standing up for you is the best thing you can ever do for yourself, because you are your main character and you are deserving and worthy of everything you desire in your life.
Yes.
If you can dream it, it's for you.
That's right.
So
it's there for a reason. You dreamt it for a reason, right? If you dream something and you really like focus and want something, that's for you.
Why can't you not have it?
You.
It's for you.
Yeah.
And the thing is that I made all those changes because I love what we do. And if we were out here talking about all of this, like you said, and we made no effort to actually put forth that in our life to make those changes, to practice what we preach, then who would take us seriously? Absolutely nobody. Why are we going to preach about doing all these hard things and expect everybody to listen to us if we're not actually doing it ourselves?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's what makes us the leaders and the teachers that we are.
And damn it, it's hard.
It's
hard.
It is hard. Go back and watch our videos. You'll see me lose my shit many times.
It's hard. It's hard. It's hard standing up for yourself. It's hard. So I never thought that I would be in this position again, but I'm dating, right? I'm dating, right? I'm dating, and I'm dating women. Something that I've never done before. It's new, right? And really just like knowing who you are, knowing what you're worth, and not chasing anyone, but like allowing the people to come to you. And then when they come to you, realizing I'm a queen. Standing in that, I'm a queen. I'm a queen. Not accepting anything less than, right? I'm not accepting anything less than. Dating women is a whole new thing to me. Dating masculine women, which is what I am very attracted to, is very confusing because they are displaying also masculine traits, and some of them are unhealed masculine traits. Right? So really just like, even though that this is a woman, and even though this is really what I desire and what I want and what I've always wanted, still not settling for those unhealed traits. Just because I'm not dating men or with men anymore, doesn't mean that women, us women, don't display these
move the microphone out of your face.
Unhealed traits. Oh, that's worse. Sorry, I got into it.
This is authenticity at its finest.
At its finest. Okay. So, yeah. And for those of us out there who are dating, who are, single, standing in your power is something that is, it's very hard to remain in that power when you are really trying to be the best version of yourself for someone else.
Oh my gosh, preach it, sister.
So when you are dating, always remember to stay your most authentic self. The right people are going to love you for you, exactly who you are. But if you are pretending to be someone else, that's when we get into the messy side of things. Because you're like, everybody's always like, you're not the same person that you were when we first started dating. No, you're right, because I was trying to behave on my best behavior, and that's not me. I was masking. I was pretending, right? So that's what I'm talking about, standing in your power. This is me. This is who I am.
Yes.
Hi, my name's Kristi. I channel extraterrestrials for a living. Right off the bat, okay? If you can't handle that,
no.
Keep a walking,
yes.
Right?
Obviously. We don't need to waste time anymore.
Yeah, right? Because some people, that's not for. They might be physically attracted to me, and they might love my bubbly personality and think I'm funny and think I'm cute. But once I say, this is who I am, this is what I do, this is what I believe, this is what I've been shown, and it is my lifestyle 100%. Maybe they don't align with that. That's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
But no more time needs to be wasted on trying to be what somebody else thinks you should be. Because...
Or is uncomfortable with.
Yeah.
You're uncomfortable with me. That's okay. Just leave me alone.
Yeah.
Right? Just leave me alone. Right? If you have unhealed traits in you that you are displaying, like every time this person gets close to me, I seem to run away. Every time this person is nice to me, I close down. Be aware of that stuff, because listen, I'm a queen. I'm a goddess.
Yeah.
And eventually, I don't want to play with your games anymore. I don't want to play games anymore, right? I want you to come to me in your full authenticity. I want you to tell me that you're scared. I want you to tell me that you were in an unhealthy relationship. I want you to tell me all the things that you struggle with. Let's get them out on the table, right? If you want to know the things about me, ask me. I will tell you. I am an open book. I'm not going to lie to you. Right? Like, I'm open. I'm telling you. And let's move forward, or let's not move forward. But we're in the 5th dimension now. There's no more times for that 3rd dimensional playing games. I'm a damaged little...
Yeah. Another thing is, if you have no interest in growing and healing, then, you
can't be with a spiritual person if you don't have intentions on growing.
No, and then... both sides deserve to hear what they are investing in. No more games. No more games need to be played. Quit lying to people. Quit hiding yourself
Quit hiding from yourself. And also the things that I've been dealing with, I heard this quote that really, really resonated with me. And I've heard it so many times before, but it really resonated with me this week. People can only love you as deeply as they love themselves.
Oh. How powerful is that?
So that means if I love myself and I'm standing in my power and I'm not letting anyone take my power, right? I can love someone to the best of my ability, right? But if I'm saying, I'm shy and I'm embarrassed and I'm insecure and I can't love that person to the best of my ability. So when I'm saying we need to go into relationships and stay standing in our power because it is literally the best for everyone. I'm not going into a relationship saying I need this, and I need this because I'm incomplete and this other person has to fill in the gaps. Mm-mm. I'm complete. I do not need anyone to fulfill anything inside of me. I am complete on my own. And when I get into this relationship and the walls start crumbling, I need to stay there. I am still complete. I am still whole. I am still independent. I am still a goddess. I am a queen. And next to me, I have a queen. I have a king, like as a queen, as a goddess, I'm not going to be with a jester. That's not how it works.
Right.
If you want to be aligned with my energy, goddess energy, queen energy, you better yourself be a goddess or a god. And I'm, it's energetic wise. Mm-hmm. If you're aligning with the masculine energy, you want to call yourself a god, I love it. You better act like it.
Mm-hmm.
Act like it.
Yes, practice what you preach.
Practice what you preach, and that's been my lesson this week. I have to practice what I preach. I have mother wounds. I have to stop ignoring them, right? I have to stop ignoring them. I have to understand why I feel all this animosity. Why do I feel all this animosity? What's really going on? Bring it to the surface, Kristi. Bring it to the surface and really understand it. And that takes meditation. And it takes a talk with a psychic. It takes a channel. It takes some tarot cards to really dig in and figure out, where does this come from? It didn't start in this life. I didn't pick this life to deal with my mother wounds. It has been continuing a cycle over and over and over for many lives. I picked this life to slay the mother wounds, to understand that we came here for certain purposes on this planet, and mine was to not base my internal worth on whether someone loves me enough or not.
Absolutely. I share the same. I have mother and father wounds. Mm-hmm. My mother's deceased. I've had closure through you, gave me closure with my mother wounds. My father wounds still exist. He is still living. And I never really understood. I don't think a lot of us are self-aware in that in that area. That, like you said, it takes a lot of meditation. It takes a lot of reflecting. It takes searching for answers, because sometimes it's not within us. We don't really realize it. And I thought I had healed a lot of things when it came to him. His inability to love me has nothing to do with me.
No.
I used to think, how can somebody who biologically creates a life not love that?
And I don't think that they don't love us. They do love us. They just not in the way that we crave.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
They love us to the best of their ability. That's the way they know how to love. That's the only way they know how to love. We can love on a deeper level. We have more love. We have extra love. We have unconditional love. I love you no matter how you behaved in the past, no matter what you've done in the past. I love you no matter what, right? But they don't understand. They don't know. They don't know what unconditional love really is.
Right. Like you said before, earlier in the podcast, about if you only can love as deeply as you love yourself.
Yes, thank you for bringing that up. It's so important to understand that if you are in any type of relationship and you are struggling with someone, struggling to feel loved the right way, right? The way that you crave, the way that you desire, because it's fair. Any type of love that you crave and desire, you should have that. Right? You should have that. You deserve that, right? But being aware that this person in front of me, do they love themselves? Do they love themselves? They need to love themselves more than they love you. In a healthy way. not in a narcissistic, egoic way, trying to protect themselves. But I love myself because I am a king. I am a queen. I am a god. I am a goddess. I know that I am always trying to evolve to the best of my ability, which is what we display, right? I want to always look deeper into a situation and see if I can heal from this, if I can learn from this, right? When those tower moments are coming, I'm choosing now to be on this side of it instead of this side of it, right? Like I'm evolving, but really our parents, this didn't exist as much as when our parents were younger, right? Like their generation was told to sort of not talk about things, to keep it in, to listen. Children are meant to be heard and not, or children are meant to
be seen
and not heard.
Yeah.
You don't speak up, you don't talk. What mom and dad says goes. Religion was a huge, huge thing. So even if bad things happened in the home and we go to church, we're still keeping them quiet. So there's a lot of things that our parents really were programmed to sort of behave the way that they do, you know? And even though we see the programming and we understand it, that's our path. We chose to break free from the matrix.
Right.
We chose not to live in that programmed life anymore. But they're not choosing that. And that's okay. That's their path, right? They may have chosen to go through these certain experiences in their lives so that they have a chance to wake up and see the truth and see the reality and see the freedom and experience the beauty. But doesn't mean they're going to take the chance. Right. Everything is free will. Everything is free will. And that's what our parents who are not healing and evolving and growing with us, that's what they're experiencing. They're just experiencing really learning more lessons. You know, they're learning the lessons that they need to right now. And in their next life, they'll understand that they're going to put certain things in place for them to say, this is what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to wake up. I'm supposed to grow. I'm supposed to evolve. I am not supposed to deny my children my love. This is not what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to go here. And even though it's uncomfortable and it's not something I've chosen lifetime after lifetime, it feels so foreign. It feels so scary, right? Because I will say that I had the same choice that my mother had. When I was sleeping, I was not awake and I was under programming. My children came to me with expansion. And instead of keeping them quiet over and over, like, oh my God, don't talk about that. We're going to go to hell. I literally didn't even say, oh my God, ever. My whole entire life. I said, oh my gosh, oh my goodness. Anytime somebody said, oh my God, I would cringe. Like, oh, you're going to hell. You're going to hell. Yeah. You're using the Lord's name in vain.
Yep.
Right? Mm-hmm. So programmed. And my children are coming to me and they're questioning things and they're asking me. And when they were younger, I was like, don't talk about that. Don't talk about it. Don't worry about it. You don't have to know everything. Everything doesn't have to be known, right? But my middle daughter just kept pushing and pushing and pushing. And I will say, like, because of my children, I did wake up. You know, like they were the ones that pushed me into involvement because I was a programmed Christian where if you come to me and you tell me certain things about yourself, that's wrong. It's wrong, right? And what do? How do I follow a religion that tells me to tell my kids that the way they're feeling and the way they love is wrong? Like, I love you no matter what your choices are. I don't care, right? I don't care. And if God's going to throw me away because of that, like, that's not really a relationship I want to be in. It seems very abusive and controlling.
It does.
You want me to choose you over my children?
Mm-hmm.
Would I ever choose a spouse over my children? Would I ever choose a friend over? Would I choose my parents over my children? Why would I choose a God over my children? That's not the kind of God that I want to follow, right? That's what happens in awakening. And that's what we're really supposed to do is say, oh, I see now. I see all this programming. I'm going to move forward in love, not in fear. And that's the fifth dimension, you know, like this old programming of fear and choosing this religion and choosing these old habits and these old cycles because that's what we're taught and that's what's safe and you don't want to go outside the box. that's the cycles. And choosing to say, ah, it's like Dorothy when she lives in Oz, or when she lives in Kansas, it's all black and white. And then once you like wake up, everything's like, holy shit, it's like there's rainbows and sparkles and unicorns over here. I never even knew this existed. I didn't know that guilt could go away. I didn't know that shame could go away. You know, you're taught with the religion that God can save you, Jesus can save you. And really what you can do is just save yourself by freeing yourself. But yes, with the help and the inspiration of Jesus, if you choose to, or God, whoever you have. But know that those things on the outside are not what's freeing you. You're freeing yourself. You are your own God.
Yes, absolutely. That I don't think I could have ever heard that in a more perfect way.
It's hard to hear when the spiritual leaders start talking about like, you are your own God, right? Like it sounds very like, no, because God is so powerful. I could never compare him. I will never worship any other God, right? There's only one God. But like, God made you. God made you. You are God. You are a part of God.
In his image.
Yes, in his quote unquote image, right? But really it's in their image because there's more of them, right? Yeah, you were made in his image, which means you have God in you. That's your soul. Where do you think your soul comes from? It comes from God. It's part of God. You are your own God. You are your own power. And once you realize that, you can release yourself and free yourself of all the things that you've been feeling shame for, guilt for. Because when we're programmed into these certain religions, we are literally programmed. We're a sinner. We're a sinner.
Yeah.
As soon as you wake up, you're a sinner.
Yep.
You can't help it. You're just a sinner. How do you ever live up? How are you ever fully convinced you're going to heaven if every single day you just by breathing and waking up,
you're just living in doubt forever, and then they come knocking at your door. Do you know where you're going when you die? I'm like,
I did until you asked me that. Now I'm doubting everything that I ever did.
And it's exactly what it is there for, to keep you in fear and in doubt.
Yeah, and you know, I'm not here to tell anybody what to believe or be inspired by. My personal beliefs are heaven and hell are here on earth. You can create your life and it can be a complete hell depending on what choices and emotions you live in, or it can be a heaven, right? The only thing that I've been shown on the other side that also could be compared to heaven or hell is the life review. Okay, once you die, you literally have to watch your life play out on a big giant screen in front of you. And now these are just human terms that I'm saying. They explain everything to me in human terms. So you're basically sitting in a room and you're watching on the big screen your life play out. And they're showing me as like you have all these electrodes sort of attached to you and they control your emotions. So you're watching the TV, and as you're watching your life play out, you're feeling every decision that you made that hurt someone. You're feeling every decision that you made that made someone happy and feel good. You're feeling all of the emotions and the chaos. You're looking at things and seeing different sides of things, like the Ghosts of Christmas Past, Present, and Future, where they show you all the different sides of your decisions and the chaos that you may have caused, or the beautifulness that you may have caused. That's the life review. That could be heaven or that could be hell based on whatever choices you've made in your life. And that's also where we get sort of like earthbound spirits. They're scared of their life review because in human terms, maybe they would have gone to hell. Maybe they're scared. They don't want to see if they're going to go to hell. You know, they would get scared and those people wouldn't be able to live the life of freedom that they really deserve. All you have to do is really just make it through this life review. Sit down and take it. And you get to start all over again and you get free, because no God I have ever been shown throws anyone into the pits of hell. I've never been shown that. I've only been shown love and light. I've never been shown the devil. I've just never seen I've never talked I've talked to people who have done horrible, horrible things on this earth that should have gone to hell. I have communicated with them on the other side. All they are is absolutely understanding, apologetic, and really here to try to fix as much of the damage that they created, because they're like, I was human then. I was human then. You know, I have no ego now. I am pure light. I am pure soul. And I realized that all those things that I did on my earth life, I'm so sorry. I've never met a spirit that wasn't apologetic for every single thing that they have hurt someone or caused someone. You know, I've never been shown that. I've never been shown that. So I don't know. I don't even know how we started talking about this.
Just going through life experiences.
Oh, it started with parent wounds.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because there's so many programmed. They're just programmed, and we have to completely understand that it doesn't lessen our love for them. I love my parents so much. Do I feel as if I'm missing out? My mother would be missing out in my life. I feel like she's definitely missing out, and I feel like I'm definitely missing out on her healthy side as well. But I do understand that her unhealthy side is living sort of its loudest right now, and she needs that. That's the path that she's choosing, and this is the path that I'm choosing, and we'll meet again someday. Someday.
That's powerful. I love that. Because all relationships are everlasting.
Yeah, I understand, and I have compassion. I feel blessed that I'm not I'm not there anymore. I was programmed just as much as she was. You know, like, we grew up in a very religiously programmed household. Very, very religious, everything by the Bible. And I'm free now.
Yeah.
I'm not a slave to that way of thinking anymore. I've realized that that is just a small part of humanity. That's just like one tiny little story of humanity is this religion that is so programmed in humanity. It's literally just like, it's this one tiny little truth, right? It's one tiny little thing compared to like you say your God is so big, right? How does he fit in this tiny little book? He's so big, and only half the book really counts, right? The first half doesn't count, when he was angry and killing people and slaying people. That doesn't count, right? Only the second half counts. Well, the second half isn't even about him. It's about Jesus. So how did you put this big, giant, unconditional, loving, angry too and jealous, and he's like killed millions of people, right? But he's perfect. He's perfect. We can't ever live up to him. But I just never, now that I'm awake, I look back and I say, how did we fit God in a book? Because everything that I've been shown, there's no way. Like, all the spiritual people in the world, they couldn't, if you combined their books, you still couldn't get the full expansion of what God really is. Right? Like, there's no way God will fit in a book.
No, that's what man made him.
Small.
Yeah. It's just this small book of nothing but control and manipulation and fear.
Yes. And, Jesus, love Jesus, the red words that Jesus said, I guess you can believe some of them because, some of these stories are told hundreds of years after Jesus died. How do you know what the guy said? Mm-hmm. Were you there?
It's like the phone.
The game telephone.
Yeah.
Well, I think he said this. No, he said this. No. My great-grandpa's uncle's cousin was there when he was preaching, and he definitely said this. You don't really know what he said, but yes, there are some things that I align with, like, I am the way, the truth, and the light. You are the way, the truth, and the light, like you are. You are. He is bringing back Christ consciousness, right? Like, he was Christ consciousness, meaning he was unconditional, and he was beautiful, and he was here to show us.
He was a way shower.
He was a way shower. He was a truth teller, and he was the masculine, that healthy, beautiful masculine energy. And the other thing that's wiped off the face of this planet is the existence of his other half, the divine feminine, Mary Magdalene. We do not talk about her. The only thing that we know about Mary Magdalene is what? That she was a prostitute? Like, she was his other half. She was the divine feminine. They went together. They did these preachings together. She was
Women
so
meant nothing
many
back there.
lies, so many manipulations, so many just women had such a bigger part in everything.
Oh yeah.
And now we're back. And we're saying we're not going to let you do this to us anymore. We are here. And we deserve half of everything that's here because you've had it for so long. It's like we're getting a divorce and we're taking what's ours, right? Like, this is mine. This is mine. I deserve all of this. Look at all of these things that we've been through together, you and me, the masculine and the feminine. How can you not say that us feminines deserve everything that we are asking for? Why do we not deserve control of our own bodies? Why do we not deserve to be leaders of the country? Why do we not deserve to make as much money as you do? Why? Why? You know, and if you can come up with a reason and say, well, because blah, 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 I don't align with your frequency. And we don't live on the same earth.
No.
So if you, yeah. And ladies, I would encourage you to, if you are dating a man, newly dating a man or anything, I would encourage you to ask, what do you feel about the divine feminine rising right now? Just to see. Let's just see what earth are you living on? How do you feel about the movement of women and the power of women? Okay. I was with he's never going to watch this, so I can say it. My ex-husband, my middle daughter and my youngest daughter, he lives around here, and we went to Mountain Home yesterday. Okay. Now we're just friends. We've been friends for 18 years, right? So, we go to get iced coffee, of course, because me and Callan, my 14-year-old, we need iced coffee, right? We're queens, we're goddesses. We need our iced coffee. So we go to 7 Brew in Mountain Home. Best freaking coffee I've had in a very long time, by the way. We pull up, and this very, very cute, lovely, wonderful woman is standing there, and she says, I have my fancy glasses, my sparkly glasses, and she said, oh my God, you are so cool, I love your vibe. And of course I'm like, oh my gosh, I love your hair, you're so cute. And then my daughter says, oh my gosh, you are so pretty. And my ex-husband is like, oh my God, like, blah, right? He's like so triggered by this, so triggered by the divine
complimenting. Yeah.
Yes, like he's used to, or he wanted. I don't know what he wanted. Do you want me to like hate her, not communicate with her? If I see a woman and she has a beautiful, wonderful, energetic spirit about her, I'm going to tell her, right? I'm going to tell her how pretty she is, how how powerful she is. And especially if she's a barista. I just really got a thing for these cute little baristas. They're all so cute and energetic and wonderful and beautiful, and I appreciate everything about them. And why wouldn't I want to tell them how wonderful they are, But certain men do not align with women coming together and really just complimenting one another and just coming together, like coming together as this divine women.
Some people are just triggered by all the love and like just the love that you're spreading.
Yeah.
They can't handle that kind of vibration.
Yes.
It makes them feel awkward,
Yes.
uncomfortable.
Yes, very much so. Very much so. And like I said, there is a lot of masculines out there that need a lot of healing. They do need a lot of healing. And if you have a divine, feminine, spiritual woman in your life and you're a masculine, you should feel blessed.
Yes.
Right? You should feel blessed.
Yes.
And that's why I'm going in and I'm saying, I'm a queen and I'm
Yeah.
a goddess.
Yeah.
And if I'm in your life, you are lucky.
Yes.
You are blessed, right?
Yes.
There's a reason for it. People like us don't come into people's lives for no reason.
Nope, we're treasures. We are treasures.
Yes.
And we should be treated as such.
Exactly. And I'm not settling for anything less,
No.
right?
My
I'm
husband knows this.
Yes.
He tells me every day, he's like, you're such a gift in my life. Didn't see it before. Thank you. Thank you for showing me.
We are the way showers. We are the way showers, like we're the way to healing. Healing, you know, like, but in that, we really have to make the right decisions. We have to be healed ourselves.
Yeah.
It's very important for us divine feminines to really, really tune in to the best version of ourselves, to be aware of the traits that we carry that are unhealthy, that have been repeating on cycles. And again, it takes a lot of lowering that ego.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Because it's easier just to stay put and tolerate, disrespect every now and then. It's sometimes easier to just ignore it. It will go away on its own. No, it doesn't. Nope. The best thing you can ever do for yourself is to speak your truth, stand up for yourself, and love yourself more.
Yes. And do it from a place of love.
Yeah. You don't have to be hateful. You can be loving and kind.
I can get my point across with love. Right? And then that person really does have something to be like, damn. She really is all love, isn't she?
Yes.
She could have totally just ripped me a new one. I know that my behavior was uncalled for. I know I was acting I know that I made all these choices. I'm afraid she's going to scream and yell at me. But all she did was come to me and say, I'm a queen. I'm a goddess. I have boundaries. And this is the way I treat myself. And I expect nothing less from anyone else.
And that's a powerful statement in its own.
Yes.
You don't need to be angry to speak those words.
I don't disrespect myself.
No.
I don't hurt myself unintentionally. And now listen, making mistakes are forgivable. I'm not saying like someone makes a mistake, you write them off instantly. I'm saying like these are patterns. These are cycles. And you feel it. It happens over and over and over again. If you do not get off the ride, you're going to keep getting hurt. So get off the ride, stand in your power, and create those beautiful boundaries, but do it with love, because I don't want this person out of my life forever.
No.
I love them.
No.
Unconditionally. Forever.
Don't create drama you don't need. You can get the message across by just speaking the truth in a loving, kind way.
And it's hard. And you have to take sometimes days to process it, because I feel like if I would have handled this conversation immediately, things would have turned out differently, because my emotions were very much in the front.
Definitely be emotionally stable.
But when I was triggered in the situation, I literally said, I'm going to hang up the phone now because I do not want to fight.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Yeah, I'm proud of myself in that way too. We've been spreading we acknowledge each other's growth, and we'll tell each other how proud we are of each other. I know there was a moment of disrespect on my part that most women or men would have wrote the other person off. Acting from obviously unhealed trauma. When you make mistakes, let's just say pouring water on another person. That and to
That's
be able
a trigger.
That is yes. But when you do that, most people will be like, "Oh my God, I will never tolerate that kind of disrespect." Obviously, you don't. But to be able to handle yourself in that moment, and to not want to attack a person, and you're just calm and you know what? I just need you to get out of my face right now. And with love and light, I need you to just disappear right now. And you will never do that to me ever again.
Yeah.
But also knowing, is this a habit that a person makes? Because whether you choose to forgive or not, or choose to revisit ever being with a person who did that to you or not, you really have to put a lot of things in place. Really reflect on what that relationship was about, what that behavior was about. Is this something that this person usually does? Was this a moment of just not even thinking and just acting from an unhealed place? What is this? And then go from there. Is what is going on here? But being able to control yourself and not immediately attack a person was a big accomplished tower moment for me.
Yes, I would definitely say so. That would have triggered a lot of things in a lot of people.
Yeah.
I don't even want to think about how I would have behaved in that situation, because you never know.
You do not know, but I have had it done before. It was a major trigger, but it wasn't with a drink before. It was with food or somebody spitting in my face. And one of my ex-husbands did both of those things to me with food, and so it was a major trigger. But to be able to control myself and not react
in a way that you have reacted before.
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally. Tower moments.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad you were on the upside of that one.
I mean, our growths can look like many different things, but only we recognize where we've been and where we are now.
Yes. And they're bringing up, like, don't be always looking for validation from outside people. Like, you know yourself. Mm-hmm. You are the one that lies to yourself. You're the one that denies that certain things are true, even though you know that they're true. You just don't want to admit them to yourself.
Right.
I admit that I had a bit of an anger problem, right? I struggle with wanting to control situations, you know, and really just like my daughter is planning a wedding right now, and it's been the biggest show for me of the release of my control, because I am just like, that's you. Whatever choices you make, whatever decisions you make, it's you.
Yeah.
It's you.
Yeah.
You do that.
Similar. My daughter's pregnant,
Mm-hmm.
and I've wanted to like kind of control like certain things because I want to give her everything. And then I had to stop and think, you know what? It's not about me. It's not my pregnancy. I want to give her all the things that I didn't have, but that's not my choice. And I'm like, whatever you want,
Yes.
you need to tell me what you want. And she's like, I just want simple.
Yeah.
Simple.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need a lot of money. I don't need all these fancy things.
Mm-hmm.
And me, like, she's like, thrift stores are fine. Gently used items. And I'm like, that's totally not me.
It is not you. It is not you. You're
But
a
I'm
little
learning.
bougie.
I did tell her, I'm like, you know what? We can do that.
Yeah.
We can do that.
Yeah. Thrift stores I love it. I will totally go thrift storing. You know? It's my favorite place to be. Iced coffee and thrifting.
Yeah.
I'll go anywhere. Let's do it.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I'm just going to tune in and see if there's anything Avon that's coming through, and see what he wants to say. And he's saying, I just want to congratulate both of you for being your most truthful and authentic selves in front of an audience, right? He's saying, like, the ego has to go away in the fifth dimension. So we're going to have to maybe do things and say things that feel uncomfortable for us so that we can teach people from our experiences, you know? And he's saying that's a lesson for everyone, right? Like, lead by example. Be the change that you want on this earth. Don't complain about what everyone else is doing. Just exist in what you believe is the right way, right? You be the change that you want to see. If we can all be the change that we want to see, this earth will change a lot faster than it is right now. But a lot of us are very much focused on outside here. This is all chaos, right? All this negative Nancy stuff. Like, in order for me to stay out of my negative place, I have to have no news in my house and no commercials. I also cannot tune into, you know, the town pages, the local town pages. If I want to stay out of the third dimension, if I want to stay out of that negative place, I have to disconnect from that, because there are just so many people who complain about things that are non-existent. They do not exist. You are just making there's a lot of people who are like, they don't know how to like not live in that third dimension, and then they suck other people in, and then there's like 100 comments, and all it was like this nasty, like, somebody just like is complaining about something in the town. And there's 100 comments and people fighting, and there's like 25 different branches of arguments going in this one comment that is not even necessary. What's the purpose of this? If it does not help or inform, shut up. Just shut your mouth, please.
I don't understand how people like have nothing better to do but to write on social media and complain or spread hate speech about things that really have nothing to do with them.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't identify with that. I don't relate to that.
I also have my social media is my business page, but it's also my personal page. So I have family and friends on there. And there are a lot of people that I have to just unfollow. I'm still friends with them, but because I don't, this is mine. This is my energy, and this is my frequency, and this is my vibration. And if you are interrupting this beautiful pattern that I have set up for myself, I've really worked hard to create this lovely frequency in my life. I am constantly working to be a better human, the better than I was the day before.
Right.
I have set up this frequency for me to live in. If you come in and you vibrate at this yucky frequency, you're messing my frequency up, and I worked way too hard to get it here.
Yeah.
So get out of my frequency.
Yes. We are just like everybody else. We are human. We go through our moments where we fluctuate, and we work really hard to stay at a level where we can maintain peace and joy and happiness in our lives, and seeing.
But it's not easy.
It is not easy. We are not just naturally high vibrant, just want to exist in this reality of just nothing but happiness, because that's not reality.
No, just because we're channels and we're psychics or mediums does not mean that we are living a life of high vibrational
24/7.
Right.
No,
like
we don't.
I'm striving to. I strive to.
But we have to balance that out, because it's not good to always to be unbalanced.
Oh, yeah. And that's also what the full moon was about, balance. It's a Libra moon, so balance. Then I think we channeled about this in 1 or 2 episodes back about keeping that balance, not going full force all the way in the
all
spiritual.
the time, because you have to come back down and regulate.
Yes.
Because it's not healthy to constantly be up there all the time, because we're living here. We're humans. We're supposed to have a healthy balance.
Yes.
It doesn't mean that you stay down way low all the time and get sucked into like all the negativity, the hate, the drama.
No, but you gotta live down here.
But
you gotta live in the 3rd dimension. You gotta go to work. You gotta drive. You gotta meet people. You gotta go shopping. You gotta do all these things.
It's being responsible for your own feelings, your own vibration, your own frequency, what goes on in here, and how you feel in here.
Yeah, and I just have to bring up so this disagreement, this conversation that I had with this person that I love deeply, they kept saying like, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry, that I caused you to feel this way, that I made you feel this way, right? And I immediately was like, no, you did not do this. You did not do this. I allowed myself to feel these emotions. You made choices that you felt like you needed to make in that moment. For some reason, you needed to do that. You needed to have that experience. You needed to do that for some reason. In the moment, it's me. It is all me. Whether I choose to react, whether I choose to get mad, whether I choose to continue repeating the cycle, it is all me. And that is one of the biggest awarenesses you can have. It is no one's fault that you made me mad. You triggered me. You pushed me, and you kept pushing me. You knew what buttons to push, right? They may have done all of those things, but they did not make you react the way that you did.
No.
Only you can allow yourself
Absolutely.
to do that.
We are responsible for our own behaviors and how we react to other people's energy.
Yes, 100%, 100%. I just, it's very important to take ownership of, no, you did not do that to me. You can apologize to me for, yes, you probably stepped across my boundaries. You can apologize for that. I stepped across your boundaries. I knew that wasn't something that was within your boundaries. I'm sorry for that. But don't apologize for, I'm sorry that I made you feel this way. You didn't make me feel that way.
No.
I allowed myself to do this. The cycle that we're repeating, I'm choosing to participate in. This is all me. It's all me. I'm not blaming you for anything. I am taking 100% responsibility for the way that I feel and the things and the lessons that I am learning. That's why I'm stepping out of the cycle. Because I'm responsible. I'm responsible. If I keep participating, I'm responsible. If I step out, I'm responsible. I'm responsible for every single decision I make.
That's absolutely
Quit
true.
blaming people. That's another thing. That's very the wounded feminine energy. If you are one of those that has the victim mentality, that is very wounded feminine. There are a lot of they bring up a lot of divine masculine, divine feminine, wounded masculine. If you can figure out what aspects you're carrying and figure out how to counteract those, if you're aware of the bad sort of traits you have, if you can see on paper, oh, shit, I blame everybody for my problems all the time. Mm-hmm. That's you're a victim, right? Like, it's always everyone's fault. If you know that you carry that energy, the next time it's happening, you can be aware of that. And again, that's your responsibility, right? I'm responsible for my own reactions. I used to play victim all the time, but this time I'm gonna say, ugh. I made a couple bad decisions, and this is the repercussions of them. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm aware. I said some things I shouldn't have said, and now they're coming back to me. I'm aware, and I'm gonna take full responsibility. I did this. It is not so-and-so's fault anymore. And that is how you fix those wounded aspects of you. The wounded feminine, the wounded masculine. The wounded masculine wants to control and, very, very controlling energy because they're protectors. And your ego kind of gets carried away with you and it turns into controlling. When you're aware that you have a controlling nature, the next time you get this tower moment, whether to choose to react in a controlling way or say, I'm going to disconnect myself from the situation. You're free to make whatever choice you would like, right? That's how we change. That is exactly how we change. Being aware, knowing that you have these toxic qualities. If you are someone who runs away from people as soon as things get close, be aware of that, right? Like, I'm aware that every time this person shows me any affection or shows me anything, I get scared and I run away. Be aware of that. And the next time that you're in that situation, instead of running, you make the choice to participate in the conversation and say, you're right. I like you too. Like, I usually would react in a certain way. Explain that. Say those things. Like, right now, I'm pretty proud of myself because normally I would, as soon as you said the words I love you, I would have ran the opposite direction, right? But now I'm saying, I feel it too, and I'm scared. It scares me. And that's why I normally run away. But I'm choosing to say, I have feelings for you. I like you. I'm just scared. My past has proven to be hurtful. I've been programmed that relationships are bad and they hurt people. And I'm going to make new choices next time because I see you.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Okay, this was a good one. We made it a whole hour and 12 minutes, and we literally had nothing to talk about. Life experiences. That was just this week. You know, that's what we say on this journey, on the spiritual journey. Everybody thinks it's like all rainbows and glitters and sunshine all the time. Like, no, you have to face these very hard, dark moments. But afterwards, it is all rainbows and sunshine because you're like, damn, look what I did.
It's like another checklist.
Woo,
yes, mark that one off. Yeah. No, it's growth every day. You're growing
every day. Every day grow.
And then being self-aware helps you to see everything you've been through. Like meditation today, this morning, I went back to all like me, like 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. And I just gave myself a hug through every time, like, look where you are now.
Yes. And that's so beautiful. You know, like once we have these tower moments and then I say, whoa, like, look what I did today. I would have never done that 5 years ago, 10 years ago. I was a mess. And I'm like, I'm a queen.
Yeah.
I'm a queen. Yeah. I'm a goddess. Yeah. And I'm really treating myself like a queen and a goddess. And again, because I'm a queen, because I'm a goddess, and I treat myself as that, I'm not letting anyone going to give me less than that.
No.
Right? Nothing.
No.
Treat me like a queen. Treat me like a goddess. I deserve to be worshipped, right? So do you. So do you. And I will do the same thing for you, right? Because I'm standing in my power. And I'm like, game recognizes game, right? King recognizes queen. Queen recognizes queen. I got you, right? Like, I got you. My friends, our friend group, nothing less than queens.
No.
Nothing less than goddesses. Nothing. Each one of us, queens and goddesses, standing in our power. And I will accept nothing less in my life. I love everyone. But in my close inner circle, the ones who influence me the most, the ones who I get my frequency from, my vibration from, that I share, you got to be top tier. Top tier. We don't want no jesters here.
Absolutely.
Shit. Okay.
On that note.
Yeah, on that note, we will see you next time. We love you all. Be aware and know in those tower moments, like, this is a cycle, or I can make a new beginning. The Fool's Journey. Let's go. I love you.
Have a beautiful day.